Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Mizuno JPX925 Hot Metal Pro, their best looking version of their game improvement side of things against the JPX925 Forged, their bridging iron which kind of goes between the game improvement and towards the Mizuno Pro side of things. We're going to look at the looks, feel differences. We're also going to be looking at the performance side of things with the forgiveness as well. We'll get the heat maps going to see which one's more forgiving, which one is more consistent over more parts of the face. We'll look at the three different swing speeds as well to see if there's a difference between these two irons and which kind of golfer is going to be suited for these two different irons. Now this is my opinion, ignore me completely, this is just my opinion. I'm not a great fan of the looks of the Hot Metal series. When it comes to the Forged though, they did change the looks a little bit, yes they have, and they have made it look much better. So out of the two, absolutely, I'm going to go for the 925 Forged in the looks because I don't like that little kind of chrome bar-y bit that they've got on the Hot Metal. I really don't understand what's going on with that. When it comes to top lines, etc., again, if I can, I'll try and put the Mizuno listing of how they look at the actual measured differences between top lines, etc., but the Forge is better top line wise. You're looking at blade lengths, no different. I mean, everything wins on the Forge when it comes to smaller, it's better. But the Hot Metal Pro is the best looking version of their Hot Metal series. The big win of the Hot Metal series and now the Forge as well is their contour ellipse. Mizuno for this year, the 925, have made something called contour ellipse. It's effectively how they channel, how they mill the variable face thickness into the back of their heads. And if you've seen my full reviews of the forgiveness side or the consistency side of things, when you add this contour ellipse over the 923, the 925 series are just amazingly good, and it is because of that contour ellipse. When it comes to feel differences between these two, I would say yes, you've got the 925 Forged, the Hot Metal Pro, they all have chromoly in them. However, because of the size of it, the Forged just feels fractionally better. When I say feels, for me, better is softer, duller, quieter, that kind of, I like the Forged blade feeling of strike. Some people like a little bit more of a confidence inspiring pop, and if you like that, the Hot Metal Pro will give you that just bearing in mind, when it comes to Mizuno, they do have this nothing feels like it, and so they perceive how golf clubs should feel differently to another manufacturer. And so all of their equipment, all of their product, all of their range is on the quieter, softer side of it. So when it comes to the game improvement side of things, you're going to be hard pressed to find a softer game improvement side of anything. Every single thing on a Mizuno is tried to be done on the softness, the quietness, the nothing feels like a Mizuno, that kind of idea. Right, let's go have a look at the forgiveness differences between these two. Which one wins when you don't hit the middle? Which one's more consistent? So on the screen, if I can get every one of these heat maps on there, will do, might get a bit crowded, but you can see this. I have got full reviews of these on my channel, so if you want to go in depth as to exactly how forgiving one is of one part of the face, then you can do. This is basically a summary of understanding how good one is compared to the other. You've got the 925 Forge on the left-hand side and the Hot Metal Pro on the right-hand side. You would say one thing straight away, that the Hot Metal Pro and the 925 Forge have an awful lot of green on there, and that's because of contour ellipse. Now the Hot Metal Pro being slightly bigger and the contour ellipse just works perfectly on the Hot Metal Pro, it does radiate even more out towards the toe than the 925 Forge. So it's slightly more forgiving, slightly more consistent on the left-hand side, the toes on the left and the heels on the right, and you've got high and low as well. But it's just slightly more forgiving, more consistent off of the toe, definitely the 925 Forge. When it comes to the heel, the 925 Forge wins. It's not much, but it's enough to give it a slight advantage over the Hot Metal Pro. When you're looking at low on the face, again, the 925 just loses fractionally over the Hot Metal Pro. The Hot Metal Pro, no difference out the toe. The low on the face just works fractionally better. It's just, if I would say anything, it's a marginal difference in the heel, which makes the 925 just stand out fractionally on there, but mainly the toe and low, the Hot Metal Pro win. Let's go to the radar chart now. We can have a little look and see how well they do when you put up against flight metrics as well. So the great thing with the radar chart, it does everything that the heat maps do, but you can do it a little bit more of a finite way. This information is available from my website, www.askgolfnut.com, where my website members will be able to have a look at the 100 or so irons that we have currently to date. But you can see here you've got the Hot Metal Pro is in blue and the 925 Forge is in red, and the Hot Metal Pro just wins a fraction off of the toe. The heel, you've got the Forged, it just literally pops up a fraction more off the heel than the Hot Metal Pro, but then the Hot Metal Pro again just pops its head just above on the low strikes. And so on average, when you look at all the forgiveness, when you total them all up together, and it's mainly that toe forgiveness that gives it its big advantage, that the Hot Metal Pro just wins. It's a slightly bigger golf club. The contour lips just works even better in the Hot Metal Pro, and it is one of the most consistent golf clubs on the database. It is crazy good. And I'll be honest, the 925 Forge is up there as well. 925 Forge is a little bit more difficult because it's in the player's distance sector. It's not the biggest golf club in the world. The advantage the Hot Metal Pro has, it's a slightly larger chassis. Yes, it has a slightly thinner top line. It's the Hot Metal Pro side of things. So it's the smallest version of their Hot Metal series, but still it's a bigger golf club, and so it just wins over the 925 Forged. The interesting thing is that the 925 Forge has a slightly faster face. This is all loft for loft adjusted, so there is a slight difference in loft between these two, about 2 degrees or so, but the information that you see on the screen is absolutely all loft for loft adjusted, and the Forge actually has a faster face than the 925 Hot Metal Pro. When you look at the face spin rate, you're looking at how much spin does one golf club, again loft for loft adjusted, convert into spin rate, and you've got the Forge is a fractionally higher spinning golf club. When it comes to launch factor though, the JPX 925 Hot Metal Pro launches the ball higher than the JPX 925 Forge. Now this side is absolutely golfer specific. Different golfers will want different things, and if you are a, say, slow swing speed golfer, you may well need as much face speed as you can possibly muster, because obviously when you're talking about a slow swing speed, you need as much help from the equipment as you can do to try and keep that golf ball going on whatever launch angle you can hit it on, to try and get as much distance as possible. You may also need as much help in the launch factor as well. When we're looking at a 90 miles an hour golfer who has plenty of speed, shall we say, or even faster than 90 miles an hour, you may not need face speed, because you generate all the distance that you have purely based on the fact that you hit it at 90 miles an hour. Let's have a look at the self-fit tool now, where we have a look at the 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour data to see if one of these golf clubs will work better for you at your swing speed, whether you're slow, medium or high. You've got 70 mile an hour at the top there, already selected. We've got -2 on the attack angle. -2 is how much you come down into a golf ball. Some golfers are more steeper than others, and some golfers actually hit up. These are all sliders, so you can set these to your own swing dynamics, and that will change all of the flights, that will change all of the numbers to see which golf clubs will work better for you. And when it comes to shaft lean, that is D loft, or how much do you take away or even add loft during impact. And of course you can select that slider to show you exactly how you deliver dynamically, and then again that will change all the flights and see which ones are better for you. But we do have the JPX 925 Hot Metal Pro selected in yellow and the 925 Forge selected in blue. We've got both 7 irons in there, and we've got the max carry of the 925 Forge at 130 yards to 133 yards of the Hot Metal Pro. So we have a 3-yard gain. Bear in mind there is 2 degrees of loft difference between these golf clubs, so you have to bear that in mind. We've got a max carry of the 130 to 126 average carry of the Forge. Now bear in mind the average carry is a measure of how much distance comes off the golf ball when you don't hit the middle. When you have an average miss around the face about ½ inch or so, how much distance do you lose? You lose about 4 yards when you're swinging at 70 miles an hour, and when you're looking at the JPX 925 Hot Metal Pro, you also lose about 4 yards. We saw by the difference in consistency between these two golf clubs, they are very, very good. The wind just slightly goes to the Hot Metal Pro, but it is very, very close. And remember, we're talking within a yard, and so it can be ½ a yard out and rounded differently. These are rounded to a yard. You're looking at the JPX 925 Forge going 1 yard higher peak height, 22 to 21, and you've got about 1.1 degree more descent angle. on the JPX925 forged over the Hot Metal Pro. Now, I would say one thing. You've got the descent angle 42.4 for a 7-iron against 41.3 on the JPX925 Hot Metal Pro. It is over 40 degrees. That's the good thing. Now, 40 degrees, a slow swing speed is the absolute minimum you need before you are looking at going into the 30 degrees and 39s and 38s. When you start losing functionality, you start losing control into a green. So 40 degrees is the absolute minimum. We'd love 45 degrees, but a slower swing speed, you kind of have to give a little. And so 41.3 that you're going to get from a 925 Hot Metal Pro is fine, but these are middle hits. You would absolutely not want to go into a 6-iron at 39.4, and even the 6-iron, the JPX925 forged at 41.4 degrees is getting dangerously close to not hitting the green and disappearing back, not having any control when you get to the other side. And so with the shafts getting longer, you would expect obviously strike to get worse, and as soon as strike get worse, we start losing ball speed, we start losing peak height, we start losing descent angle, we start losing control. So it is imperative, guys, that you understand with your own delivery, remember you can change the sliders to suit how you deliver, at what point your golf club is going to become effectively non-functional. The whole idea of custom fitting, for a lot of custom fitting places, unfortunately, is sales, and it is selling you as much as they possibly can do, upselling as much as they possibly can do in one sitting. And so don't just get carried away and buying the 4 to pitching wedge or whatever it would be on the basis of that's what the fitter says, because you can see, especially depending on what your swing speed and how you deliver is, you can see very, very quickly you are going to run out of functionality into a green and control. And so I would say absolutely that at this speed, delivered this way, -2, different people delivered, some people deliver and add more loft, etc., which is going to try and get a little bit more descent angle, etc. But I would say this, that 7-iron for both of them really should be your last golf club. After this, I would go into some form of direct long iron replacement, hybrid or high lofted fairway wood. 80 miles an hour now, and just keep everything exactly the same and just dial up the speed by 10 miles an hour. And it's amazing what happens when you dial up by 10 miles an hour. Max carry for the Forge goes 153 to 157. So we've got a 4-yard gain over the Forge for the Hot Metal Pro. We've got average carry, 5 yards difference on the Forge and 4 yards difference. Again, we're talking about small rounding differences. The Hot Metal Pro is fractionally more forgiving than the Forge, but you talk about within reason 1 yard or so. 30 yards in the air to 29 yards in the air, very small amount, that could be half a yard, but you've got 1 yard or so there. And 47 degrees to 46 degrees with the Hot Metal Pro. So we are now nowhere close to 40 degrees. We have got plenty of functionality with both. And you could even go potentially into Hot Metal Pro at 42.4, maybe, and no difference to the 5-iron at 44 degrees, but with the 4-iron of the JPX925 Forge going at 41.6 for the 4-iron, I would absolutely say at 41.6, that's too close. This is a middle hit, remember, that's too close to not a middle strike. You're going to start losing ball speed, peak height, descent angle. That's going at 30 something degrees. That 4-iron is going to hit the green and just disappear out the back. So I would say 5-iron for the Forge and also 5-iron for the Hot Metal Pro is enough. But bearing in mind, obviously, we're going at 180 yards of carry then, 80 miles an hour. And so by that point, yes, you're absolutely going to be thinking about going into some form of hybrid or a higher lofted fairway wood after that, because I mean, that's now going a fair old distance. Go 90 miles an hour, the full on 90 miles an hour now, keep everything exactly the same, just dial the speed up another 10 or so miles an hour. You're looking at max carries now 171 for the Forge, 177 now for the Hot Metal Pro, so 6 yards further. We're looking at average carry 167, so what's that, 4 yards and another 4 yards again, so we're looking at, they're both within reason, very, very similar, exactly the same. 38 yards in the air, 37 yards in the air. We're looking at 1 degree difference in descent angle whatsoever. It's just such a tiny, small amount at this speed. It's just pointless talking about. Even you go 4-irons on both of them, they're more than functional into greens. We're looking at the Hot Metal Pro, 217 yards of carry by that point. You're nearly going into a full-on fairway wood. You're not even worrying about hybrids after that point. But it's going a long, long way. So when you're looking at 90 miles an hour, you haven't got to worry about functionality whatsoever. You can clearly see that the Hot Metal Pro, it is 2 degrees stronger in loft, but it does have certain performance metrics over the 925 Forge, which gives you that little bit extra help in getting the golf ball going up and getting the golf ball going out there as well. So there's a win in every part, but I would say they are very, very close considering what they are. It's just the win slightly goes to the Hot Metal Pro. So to conclude on the 925 Hot Metal Pro against the 925 Forge, let's go by looks, feel, performance and forgiveness. Looks first, I would have to say I prefer the looks of the Forged. Again, I'm not a great fan of the 925. I thought it would grow on me. I've really tried as best I can do, but I still prefer the looks of the 923. Over the passage of time, I still haven't got used to it. It's fine, it's just that it just doesn't tick my boxes. So you may like it, and if you like it, absolutely fine. It's just my opinion. When it comes to feel, the win does go to the Forge. It just feels a fraction softer for me. Again, if you want something a little bit more poppy, a little bit more confidence inspiring, then the Hot Metal Pro is there. But bearing in mind also the Hot Metal Pro, out of all of the brands, is not exactly what you call loud. There are some golf clubs out there that sit in this space which are far, far louder. And so if you like that, you won't get it from the Hot Metal Pro. Remember, it's a Mizuno, nothing feels like it. And so they choose to make all of their golf clubs as quiet and as soft as they possibly can. Let's use forgiveness first. If you are a toe striker, the Hot Metal Pro is fractionally more forgiving. Even though the Forge is already not bad whatsoever, and it is because of that contour ellipse. But if you are an absolute I hit it off the scoring lines toe striker, then the Hot Metal Pro will be more functional than that of the 925 Forge. Of course, if you're that far off the face, I would get lessons before you even think about buying any kind of equipment, but you kind of get my point. When it comes to the other two locations, they are very, very, very close, with the just win goes to the Hot Metal Pro overall when it comes to its forgiveness. Hope you liked the video. If you did, go and give it a big old thumbs up, hit that like button. YouTube likes it, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free. It's the best button of the lot because it will help the channel out greatly if you could subscribe, so thank you. Next, that one is a bell icon, that's a notification bell. If you click that one, that'll let you know next time I upload another video. Hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.